Following on from Sunday's video, today we are looking at this mini brochure from October 1980. If you didn't catch the last video on this 1977 mini brochure, there'll be a card up in the corner. October 1980 was a huge month for British Leyland, as their first new car in 4 years was launched. Not only that, but it was also their first car funded by taxpayer money, having been effectively nationalised in 1975. That new car was, of course, the Austin Metro, and that pushed the Mini into the background. From this point on, this little car would not be the volume small car, and so the range had to be reorganised to reflect this. Notice first the rebranding from British Leyland to Austin Morris, complete with the new Chevron logo. This was all brought in as an attempt to move away from the trouble of the 1970s, and with cars like the Metro, show that BL did have something going for it in the midst of build problems and underwhelming products. We dive in this time at the top of the range with the Mini HL. This is a very simple way of showing the best that the Mini has to offer immediately, giving a prospective buyer a better perception of the product. The trim has been quite comprehensively revised over the old Mini range. Of course, the Clubman front end has gone across the saloon range, reverting to the old round nose. The badge has also gone back to an early 70s appearance, but in silver rather than blue. The new Austin logo is in the centre of the black grille that would later move down to the corner. The wheel trims are also borrowed from the later Clubman that we saw back on Sunday. To the casual eye, the newest version of the car that changed the motoring world may seem little different from its predecessors. But look again. The new Mini HL incorporates a wide range of new features inside, outside and under the bonnet, which help it maintain its position as the unrivalled leader in the small car field. For a start, there's the new livery, the new badge, the new bumpers, smart new wheel trims. Take a cool all-round look through the new tinted glass, then turn on the engine and listen. Austin Morris have installed a comprehensive sound insulation system that doesn't stop at the interior surfaces but takes care of the engine compartment too. The result? A dramatic reduction in the overall noise level. We'll tell you more about the acoustic package in 3 pages' time, but for more new features, see inside. This brochure already reads so much better than the old one. It's as if BL has grown up and hired some proper marketing people. The photography as well is miles better. No longer is the car shown in random scenes, but is brought firmly to the forefront of your mind and shot from its most flattering angles. They're clearly trying to make the Mini look cute, and at least on this page, it's working. The interior of the HL is also so much more alive than the older models. These seats are brilliant, and part of why I think the early 80s might actually be peak Mini. I feel they got the spec just right, truthful to the design and quite pure as well. It's when you open the door and climb into the Mini HL that the transformation of Britain's best loved car becomes most apparent. Notice the brilliant new shadow check seat facings with handsome new vinyl sides, backs and borders. Savour the comfort. Both driver and passenger seats have rake adjustable frames so that whether you're 5'2" or a lean 6-footer, you ride at ease as well as in style. There's less of a glare from the rest of the world thanks to new tinted glass, and the new door bins are handy for holding your handbags, spectacles, maps and guidebooks. For the driver, there's easier handling. The new 4-spoke soft feel steering wheel is a delight to hold. The newly designed gear lever knob, a pleasure to shift. And the instruments are grouped in a twin-pack binnacle that gives you all the information you need on speed, fuel, battery, lights with crystal clarity. Everywhere you look, there are unexpected new touches. The longer matte black wiper arms and blades, for instance, and the new window regulators that proclaim up-to-the-minute freshness of the car that has always been in the vanguard of fashion since it first came into being 21 years ago. On this page it really goes into the Mini's features, but it doesn't shy away from its age. At the end of the day, Austin Morris were really trying to push the Mini into a different category, to make it a characterful car, a slightly left-field choice compared to the newer Metro. There's no covering up, as there are no empty adjectives. It's all just quite honest, and that makes it read really well. There's no sense of BL needing to apologise for not keeping up with competitors anymore. The Mini can just kind of be its own thing now. I love all these diagrams. They're the easiest and clearly most artistic way of demonstrating the features, and in this case the improvements the manufacturer has made to the car. It's a damn sight better than the boring marketing shot in the front of street scenes and all the interesting information hidden in the text as we saw in 1977. Now this overhead one up in the top left corner is my favourite, purely because manufacturers don't seem to care about visibility anymore. In order to improve styling, and definitely improve safety, pillars are much thicker and the rear windows are much smaller as modern tiling tends to slope upwards towards the rear. That's one of the more wonderful features of my Metro. You can see all around you in a way you just can't nowadays. The basic purpose of the Mini: a small town car for personal transport that is economical to run, agile in traffic, carries all the luggage that one or two people are likely to require, and is fun to drive, has never changed. Nor has its basic shape. Sir Alex Zagonis designed it as a rugged chassis with a transverse engine and front-wheel drive, a wheel at each corner for maximum stability, and a rack and pinion steering to give quick-as-a-wish manoeuvrability. As I mentioned earlier, it doesn't shy away from the Mini being a 21-year-old design. On this page, the history of the car is documented with all the points they believe are most important to its history and its identity. Now we move on to the Mini HL Estate, the only Clubman-fronted model still in production. On the first page, I speculated that the photography and text illustrated that Austin Morris were trying to make the Mini look cuter, and I believe this page proves that. I like the Clubman front end, but you don't see it at all in this brochure. It lacks the identity, individuality, and cuteness of the round nose. Of course, the most important factor for the estate is load carrying, and that's another reason why the front end isn't as important on this car. Again, this car is in the studio, not the real world, and the load this Mini is carrying isn't children and holiday rubbish, it's DJ equipment. We're seeing the lifestyle thing coming through again. Austin Morris are harnessing the best trait the Mini has for the 80s. The Mini HL Estate offers 16 cubic feet of load space with the rear seat in position, a staggering 36 cubic feet of load space when the rear seat is folded flat. And with its rear door sill only 18 inches from the ground, plus its wide opening twin rear doors, it is probably the easiest vehicle on the road to load. No wonder more Mini estates are taken to picnics, cricket matches, point-to-points, and on country town shopping expeditions than any other estate car. It's the biggest estate car in the smallest dimensions, the neatest and nippiest load carrier on the road. Finally, the entry-level Mini City. This model was first introduced the year before in 1979, but it's been refreshed to bring it more into the mainstream range. Of course, it is the most Spartan Mini, with the single gauge in the centre, the last Mini to have that classic design feature, no locking fuel filler cap, the older metal hubcaps, and the older steering wheel, but at least it has a badge on it this time. Making it look more modern though are the black bumpers, but that also doubles as cheapening it compared to the HL. I hope you can see my point again with this largest photograph. It's all for personality, and the graphics down the side are part of that again. On the back are all the specifications, so if you're that way inclined, then just pause the video now. The last thing I'm going to note is that all Minis were now 998cc, so the City has been upgraded from 848cc, but the bigger 1098cc and 1275cc engines aren't available. The Metro was launched with 998cc and 1275cc A+ engines, that being an upgraded version of the A series, but the Mini wouldn't gain these for another couple of years, so still the old-fashioned A series at this point. Those little 998cc engines made 39 brake horsepower. So there you go, a look at two Mini brochures and how the range was rejigged after the launch of the Metro. If you enjoyed the video, then please do click like and subscribe to TwinCam as well. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have more videos coming along soon.